There are certain dates in our lives that we're never going to forget. A wedding date, first child's birthday, death of a loved one. Those dates are not just memories, they bring emotions to our spirit. So too, the dates in the life of a nation will remain with us forever. Some here probably don't remember, but December 7th, 1941, a date that will live in our national memory forever, when we were surprise attacked by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor. My memories begin a bit later, maybe not as late as yours, but November 22nd, 1963, I was riding home in the second grade on a yellow school bus, and my bus driver was crying. I didn't understand why. The president had been killed, John Kennedy. July 20th, 1969, I stood in front of a black and white TV set and watched Neil Armstrong walk on the moon. Pride that an American walked on the moon. And August 9th, 1974, shame as President Nixon resigned the presidency. Those are all days and emotions that live in our national memory for all of our lives. 12 years later, September 11, 2001, remains burned in our national memory, and we will never forget. Where were you on September 11th when you first heard the news that nearly 3,000 people had died in 4 terrorist attacks where airplanes were used as flying human bombs to take life? Where were you when American Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center? Where were you when United Flight 175 flew into the South Tower? You might remember the video of the work crew on the street who looked overhead and thought, boy, that plane is flying low, and then a helicopter, news helicopter covering the first crash, saw that plane fly into the towers. Those are memories you will never, ever forget. They're seared into your conscience. Where were you when United Flight 77 flew into the Pentagon? And where were you when United Flight 93 crashed in Pennsylvania rather than the U.S. Capitol? Where were you when we saw human beings jump from the World Trade Center to avoid being burned to death? Where were you when the towers collapsed and thousands died? Those images forever will be in our conscience. What were your emotions? Fear, anger, sympathy, burning rage, desire for revenge? While my remembrance of September 11th is not about religion, it's not about ethnicity, I will tell you I am an unabashed patriot. September 11th, today, gives me pride and hope in America's future. As I remember firefighters and policemen running headlong into doomed towers, some of those men knew that they would die. To save others, I'm inspired by their love for fellow Americans. As I remember the military re-entering the Pentagon to save comrades in arms. As I heard Tom Bierman, passenger on United Flight 93, lead his fellow passengers in revolt without weapons to take the plane back with the words, "Are you ready, guys? Let's roll." I'm struck by these Americans and their courage, and I don't use this term lightly, heroism in the face of danger. As I saw flags spontaneously appear in our nation on September 12th, I'm proud to be an American. How do we mark September 11th, this modern day of infamy? I choose to celebrate the day. I choose to direct my emotions to pride. I choose to celebrate the pluck of this nation who rebuilt their Pentagon, who constructed the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere at the site of the former World Trade Center, 104 stories, one World Trade Center stands today. I choose to celebrate the lives of those sacrificed, from Gordon Ameth Jr. to Igor Zuckelman, 2,996 lives, single-spaced on 42 pages, husbands, fathers, mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers, parents. I choose to celebrate the first responders who served this nation, and I choose to celebrate the American military who serves anywhere, anytime to defend this nation. I choose on September 11th to celebrate the American spirit. My emotions turn to pride and hope